Hey there, welcome back to Marketing Matchmaker. I am super excited about this month. There are times when I'm developing content where I get to dive really deep into a topic and break it up into multiple episodes. Because some of the topics when it comes to marketing take multiple episodes to really go over different aspects of it. I mean, let's be honest, some things can't be covered in the 15 to 20 minutes that I do these episodes for. Some of them are hours long trainings. And yet I want to be able to give you, my audience, the ability to use what I teach and really help you to grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact. That is what I and Virtual Marketing Experts is all about. So this month, we're actually going to touch base or dive deeper into a topic from last month. Last month, we were talking all about planning for the fourth quarter and how important that is. And one of the episodes was all around Black Friday and how to create a really great and effective Black Friday launch. I have to say that episode got a lot of feedback and a lot of questions. So this month, we are going to dive even further into launching. Now, I know that there's a lot of ideas when it comes to launching. Some people say that launching is necessary to market your business. Other people say you don't ever have to launch. There's evergreen launches, and then there's live launches, and there's everything in between. Reality is while launches are not required in your business, they can be really effective in creating momentum in your marketing and in growing and scaling your business. So this month, we're going to focus on creating a high converting, money producing launch. We're going to dive into different aspects of it and how to really implement it in your business now so that you can create the business and the lifestyle of your dreams. This week, we're going to focus on the number one thing that I see most people struggling with when it comes to launching or marketing or sometimes even just business in general. You see, marketing is all about your mindset. Yes, I've said this in episodes past, and I'm going to reiterate today. Your mindset is the key to successfully growing and scaling your business, and also successfully creating a launch. The fact of the matter is that you have to be prepared to fail when it comes to your business, to your marketing, and your launches. If you haven't failed, you're probably not doing something right. And likely, you're probably still in hiding. You're not really getting out there and shouting to the world that your business is alive and well. Entrepreneurship is all about taking risks. Without taking risk, it's impossible to achieve any level of success. And yes, there is always the possibility that your latest business venture, your latest product, your latest service, or your latest launch will fail miserably. However, if you don't ever take the plunge and try, you'll never know what could have been. A lot of people get caught up in this idea that failing is somehow bad. They think that if they make a mistake or their marketing campaign doesn't work or their launch doesn't bring in the revenues that they want, that it's going to be the end of the world and they should just quit and throw up their hands. But the truth is that failing is an essential part of your journey to business success. If you're not failing occasionally, you're not pushing yourself enough. Every time you fail, you learn a little bit more about what does and doesn't work. And eventually, all of those learnings will lead you to the success that you want. So don't be afraid to fail. It's all part of business. While failure is normal and essential in marketing, and quite frankly, business and life in general, marketing and business revolves around your mindset. If you believe in your product, in yourself, in your services, in the transformation you can provide, you will be able to succeed in the long run. By taking chances and putting yourself out there, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities that didn't exist before. Now, I'm not going to say that the fear of failure shouldn't exist, right? It is natural to feel intimidated by the idea of launching something new, especially when there's a chance that it could fail. After all, nobody wants to put in time and effort only to have their launch, this big thing that they've done, go up in smoke. However, it's possible to remember that even the most successful people have experienced failure at some point. All of them have. My favorite story has always been about the Colonel of Kentucky Fried Chicken. How many times that man failed before he launched a successful business. He was in his 70s before that business went crazy and he made millions. He didn't give up. He kept trying, and that's the key. The key to really creating a successful launch or marketing or business in general is to learn from the mistakes that you've made and keep moving forward. If you allow your fear of failure to hold you back, you'll never give yourself a chance to achieve greatness, to really get to the point where your business is on fire and really growing and scaling. So don't be afraid to take risks and put yourself out there. You never know what you might be able to accomplish. Here's the thing. If you don't launch, you're guaranteed to fail, because failure is really not trying. Having a launch that is not as successful as you wanted it to be is just learning what didn't work. Here are a few tips to really have a successful launch and to avoid that fear of being able to fail. First, take some time to really think out your idea. What makes it unique? What is it that your ideal clients need solved? Who is your ideal clients? What are your goals for this launch? Answers to these kinds of questions can really make it so that your efforts have a bigger chance of success. Really diving deep before you even start the planning of the launch is going to help you make that plan so much easier, which is step 2, honestly. Put together a really solid plan. It doesn't have to be a complicated plan. It is about making sure that you know what steps need to be taken when, and having everything planned out in a way that makes you comfortable while still being fluid and flexible. I'm going to tell you right now, every launch, there are issues that arrive. Whether it's not enough people signing up for your lead magnet, or it's not enough people signing up for your product or service at the end of the launch. Whatever the problem might be, actually is an opportunity for you to pivot and make different options available. However, if you don't have that plan in place to begin with, it becomes overwhelming to try and think of what you could do instead. And the last tip as far as avoiding the fear of launching is making sure that you promote your launch. I know it kind of sounds crazy and like, duh, that's exactly what the whole idea of a launch is for, is to promote yourself. However, there are a lot of people out there that plan a launch but don't plan the promotion part of it farther enough in advance. And just like we talked about in the Black Friday episode, if you don't have an audience to launch to, it becomes really difficult to hit those numbers that you've wanted. So when you're thinking about creating a launch, you really want to think about your email list. How many people are on there? If you don't have at least 1,000 people on your email list yet, you might want to focus on that, on growing your email list before you open the doors to something. Yes, it is possible to sell to an email list that is smaller than 1,000, and your results and opportunities are greater the larger your email list is. So keeping that in mind will really help. Make sure that you plan to promote your launch far enough in advance that you have the opportunity to continue to grow and sell. So you have enough of a base to do that with. The thing is, what you want to make sure that you do is avoid letting fear hold you back. If you want to succeed, you have to take risks. Go out there. Create a launch, create a product, service, or solution that is amazing and that everybody wants to buy. That's going to help you create the success in your business that you've always dreamed of. Just like in any other area in your life, if you go into marketing with the wrong mindset, with the fear that you're going to fail, reality is you will. And failing is part of the journey. If you're not prepared to fail, you're never going to succeed. I have to say, I have failed more times in my business than I can count. Just in the last 2 years has been a roller coaster of trying things and figuring out what didn't work. And because I've been willing to fail, I've also had some massive successes in my business. You know, the ones that make you go, holy crud, I can actually do this. Here's the thing. The opportunity to fail has also brought success in other areas of my life. Not just my career, also in my personal life. Being willing to step into something that I had no idea if I was going to succeed at allowed me to learn something new that allowed me to then create success. In my mind, there's no real failure. There is only an opportunity to learn what not to do, especially in marketing. The key is to learn from what didn't work and use that to improve your marketing strategy and your launches. Ultimately, this is going to help you create a successful business and, quite frankly, a successful life. So if you're thinking about launching, and if you're struggling to find success in your business and the idea of launching is terrifying to you, that's when it's probably the point that you should do it. If you don't do what scares you, usually what scares you is exactly what you should be doing in your business. When you can change your mindset around failure, around the idea that success is not the opposite of failure, right? Failure is just an opportunity to learn, to take you to successful. When you step into that mindset, you really can change your life. It's that simple. You can change your life, your business, and your marketing. Here's another thing that I wanted to make sure to hit since we're talking about mindset around launching and digital marketing in general. If there's one thing that we all want to be aware of, it's that digital marketing is really the wave of now. It's not even the future anymore. It's not going anywhere. In fact, it's only going to become more and more prevalent in our lives. This means that business owners get to shift their digital marketing mindset and let go of those poisonous ideas that this should be easy and free and fast. The reality is that it takes hard work. It takes dedication, and it takes consistent effort to be successful in your digital marketing. And if you're willing to put in the work, the rewards can be magical. Just think about how many businesses have been created and grown and scaled and hit millions of dollars because of the internet. The possibilities are endless for those who are willing to put in the work and really step into the world of digital marketing. So don't be afraid to go launch something new today. It might be the best decision you ever made. And if you need some help, we are here to do just that. If you're ready to launch and you need some help creating a strategy to successfully do that, head over to yourmarketingmatchmaker.com and schedule a marketing exploration call. We are here to help you grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact. Thank you for listening to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear your feedback. Please head over to Apple, iTunes, and leave a review so we can hear from you. And if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator who are looking to grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact, connect with me at yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. I look forward to hearing from you.